Morning Laziness. This is Nilima KS, and today we are bringing to you an interview session with Ms. Khushali. Morning Laziness is an online magazine dedicated to women. It showcases various articles, personal life stories, and interview sessions on different matters concerning women. And today, our interviewee, Ms. Khushali, happens to be the founder of Healthy and Khush. So let us welcome our interviewee. Hello, Khushali.
Hello, Nilima. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Great. So since you're on board with morning laziness, what is your morning mood?
What is my morning? Normally a lot of excitement and a lot of planning what I'm going to do ahead in the day. So I always wake up with a lot of energy, I think.
That sounds great. So you sound like an ideal morning person.
Yes, I think over the years I converted into one.
Great. So which is your favorite meta character from my NFT collection, Women in Metaverse?
Oh, well, that would be a tough one. And I'm sorry.
Okay. I think we'll just cut the recording.
Yes, please. I thought that was the...
So which is your favorite meta character from my NFT collection called Women in Metaverse?
Well, I think I would like the sunset one.
Great. And because you're a morning person?
Absolutely. I look at evenings as a nice, fun, relaxing time. So
great.
I think it makes sense for me.
Great. So what did you have on your breakfast pie today?
Well, for me, today was a protein shake, which is something I have every morning, along with a bowl of fruits. Yeah, that's it. And coffee. A lot of coffee.
Great. So are you vegan?
I am. So I'm a transitioning vegan. My husband is vegan. So I'm still kind of trying to let go of dairy because I've enjoyed it for the better part of my life.
Great. And it's often hard to let go of many foods which we have been eating for many years, like from childhood onwards,
You grow up on so many things, but the good thing is you have fabulous vegan options now. So yeah,
great.
I'm transitioning to that.
Right, there are amazing recipes on Google you can check out for vegan recipes. So have you tried any vegan recipes lately?
Well, I tried to make vegan cheese once. It was quite interesting. So I mean, I like experimenting with food myself. So I'm trying to always find a healthy version of everything. And when I found vegan cheese, I was fairly fascinated with it. So yeah, that is something I would say I tried.
Great. Now tell us about your weight loss journey.
Yes. So my weight loss journey, while growing up, I was always a fat kid. I struggled with weight loss. I tried all the crazy diets. I yo-yoed between, I lost weight. I would gain it all back because I went back to eating all the crap or whatever. I wasn't very conscious of my food choices. And but I think over the last few years, I have educated myself. I have grown. I think I'm far more informed, which has helped me lose over 25 kgs. I have kept it off for a while. And yes, that has kind of given way to the creation of Healthy and Khush because it has been a pain point and a passion project for me.
That sounds brilliant. Well, you're a blogger. So what is the mission of your blog, Healthy and Khush?
Well, so the mission of my blog is honestly to help people solve the problem I had faced, when I was trying to lose weight, because there's so much different advice that we get all the time. And, because when you're so desperate to lose weight, you will follow whatever someone tells you without really thinking about it. So our blog is about trying to lose weight in a sustainable manner with scientific backing. So, we aren't talking about doing the most popular diet or, restricting foods, but we are trying to ensure that whatever you follow is something you can keep up for the rest of your life. And it will help you sustain the weight you lose. It's not going to come back in a few months.
Great. So talking about sustaining the weight loss journey, so how did you, manage to keep control of all these goody food or these good fatty foods and the sugar cravings? How do you learn to manage all those things and control them and stay?
Okay, so if I were to talk about that, so cravings is a big problem. How has always been for me, and but you know what I've realized that it's especially a lot more when you restrict food. So every time I was trying to diet as a child, I was told that, oh, you should not eat bread, you should not eat sugar, don't have the cake, and so I would not have the cake for like, let's say, for weeks. And then, you know, I went to a party and I saw a cake. No one was supervising me, and I would just go binge on it like a crazy person. And what that really did is that I would end up eating a lot more, put on a lot more, consume a lot more calories, which would eventually lead to weight gain. So, yeah, I think so. The way I now do it is that I am very meticulous about what I eat, but I don't restrict myself. So, if I do want to have a piece of cake, I will have that piece of cake, but I try to have, let's say, a smaller portion size, or I try to pick a healthier version of something. You know, if I want to have ice cream, I would probably try to have a low calorie ice cream, because I don't want to be
Right.
like, oh, you can't have ice cream at all. So that helps me manage my cravings. And I
Well,
think
I
it
think you,
helps everyone. Yeah.
right. Well, I think you just shattered one of the greatest myths that were like, concerned with weight loss. Like, you can't have ice creams, you can't have chocolates if you're on a weight loss journey and you just broke one. Well, talking about healthier options, so would you like to recommend any healthier recipes to control sugar cravings?
To be honest, like I mentioned, what I would genuinely recommend is a more holistic diet in terms of not having any restrictions, in terms of making sure you eat whatever you want so that you don't particularly feel the need to binge on it later. But the way I do it is I try to, for example, it's not that I don't consume sugar. I actually really like sweet, but what I do is I try to replace sugar with stevia, because it's a natural sweetener and it is very low on calories. So this is something that can be done for most of the added sugar options that you make at home. So, you know, I think smaller hacks is what will help you go a long way.
Great. Hunger versus appetite. How can one keep on a check on on their appetite?
Okay, so so before we get into how to keep a check on appetite, I would like to say that we normally, I would differentiate hunger from appetite by saying hunger is when you actually need food, when you're hungry, when you haven't consumed anything for a few hours. But appetite is, when we often see something and get tempted, or we smell the fresh aroma of baking or whatever, right? And this is when you're tempted to eat something, but you probably aren't really hungry. It's some nostalgia, or an emotion. So that's appetite. And the way you can keep appetite in check is, and again, it doesn't mean you restrict yourself completely. Please feel free to eat where you think you should, but the way I keep it in check is that, I try to recollect when was the last time I ate something, because if I did have a full meal, let's say half an hour back, I know that I'm not really hungry. It is just my mind that's playing with me. And I also try to make sure that, a lot of times when you're really hungry, you will also go for a piece of apple. But when you are just tempted, you only want to have the pizza slice or the piece of cake. So that can be a very easy check. If you're really hungry, ask yourself if you want to have the apple, because a lot of people will say no.
But I think maybe after eating the apple, you would feel like, okay, now I think I'm full. I can take a break now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, right. That can just be like a break. And after the apple, if you still want to have the pizza, go ahead, have a slice. But just break. Try to reevaluate if you really need that.
Right. I think this has happened to me today morning because I had ice cream, a bowl of ice cream in my fridge as well as watermelon. So I was like, okay, starting a day with the ice cream isn't a good idea. So maybe a fruit would do. So I started with fruits. So yeah, it happens.
Fabulous. I'm very happy to hear that, actually.
Right. So what are calorie deficit diets?
Okay, so basically, any diet that we try to do is going to put us in calorie deficit. So there isn't a particular calorie deficit diet, but any diet which lets you reduce the total amount of calories you consume in a day is going to be a calorie deficit. And when you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. So let's take the keto diet, for example. What it does is it cuts out all the carbs. In this way, we are cutting out a very big food group, because of which you end up consuming a lot lesser calories, because all your breads, rices, pastas are all gone. So you are eating lesser, effectively putting you in a calorie deficit, which will make you lose weight. Or if you look at intermittent fasting again uses the same principle. It's just that it tells you to skip an entire meal. So let's say you skip breakfast, or you skip dinner, either ways, whatever works for people. But in that case, what you have done is that you skipped an entire meal, which effectively means you have reduced at least 300 to 400 calories from your day. So, I mean, that's also assuming that during your eating hours, you don't go crazy. You're still eating sensibly and normally. You have cut out those calories, leading to a calorie deficit, which will lead to a weight loss.
Right. Now, along with a healthy weight loss plan, it is key to like maintain a good workout plan as well. So, how many hours did you work out during your weight loss journey?
I try to, even now, I try to work out at least, I try to do strength training at least 3 to 4 times a week. What that really does is helps build muscle, which can effectively also help in the weight loss process. Also, I try to ensure that I do at least 8 to 10,000 steps a day. Again, 8 to 10,000 is just a number we keep hearing on the internet, but it isn't a magic number. The whole point is to be more active, because if you're active even in an extremely passive way, you're just strolling around, that will lead to burning more calories, which will help you in your weight loss.
Right. What is practical hunger? Is it advisable to curb down the practical hunger?
Okay, so what practical hunger is it's basically, I would say, a tool that can help you deal with hunger. So practical hunger is basically eating food when you aren't actually hungry, but it's going to help you during the rest of the day. So, for example, let's say you have 5 interviews scheduled back to back, and you're going to be busy for 2 hours. The odds are you will be hungry by the time you get done. And at that time, you would want to, binge on whatever comes in front of you, and it's not going to be possible to be rational about what food choices you make. So practical hunger would be, maybe just before you start your meetings or in the middle of a meeting, if you can grab a fruit or grab a protein bar or something, so that you are managing your hunger, so that you don't go apeshit crazy by the time your meetings are over, so that you can say that, okay, now I am hungry, but I can sit down and have a balanced meal.
It sounded like an ideal work day for me, so I could relate a lot. Yeah, because when you get interviews back to back, you have to like take a break to grab a fruit or something. So it happens to
exactly. You should do that, so that by the end of the day, you're not just binging on the first thing that comes in front of you.
Right. So where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Well, the way I see myself in the next 10 years is hopefully trying to propagate this mindset of a more balanced, healthy eating lifestyle, as a way to, yes, losing weight is very important, but as a way to just be healthy and, live a fitter, a more full life. So that is something I want to propagate. I really hope that our blog eventually turns out to be as big as I dream about it every night.
Great. Lastly, what do you think this world needs the most?
Well, I believe what the world needs the most is no judgment. No judgment when it comes to food, no judgment when it comes to body image, no judgment when it comes to weight loss, and also no judgment in general, right? When we meet people, when we go out, when we see Instagram or on social media, I would really like it if people stopped judging everyone and either thought someone was too cool or thought, oh my God, I'm not good enough. I think all of it needs to stop.
Great. So on that note, we come to the end of this interview session. Thank you so much once again for joining us today. Khushali, we truly appreciate your time. And thank you, audience. Hope you had a great time with us today.
Thank you so much, Nilima.